All right.
Now we're live.
Now we're live.
Yay!
There we go.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. We thought we were live. We are now officially live.
We are officially
Hi,
live.
Irish.
I'm a rookie today. Well, guys, welcome to DT4. Today it's DT2. Sadly, E has come down with a little bit of a bug, and he can't join us tonight. He's probably in bed watching this, though. So we love you. You get better soon, man.
Yep.
Playing spooky sound effects. Alexa, stop. Thought maybe we'd have a Halloween
I can't even
vibe.
hear it. I couldn't hear it.
And unfortunately, no Rock tonight. He's tending to family matters. More on that later. So, Rock, you're in our thoughts, buddy. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. We got a fun show tonight. In spite of it just being me and B, you're in good hands. We'll be good.
DT half. Hey, no, Rock and E just dressed up early for Halloween. They're in their invisibility cloaks.
Yeah.
So they're here. You
I'm
just
excited for the countdown. Silly says.
Hold on. So y'all didn't get to see the countdown either? Oh
no. Apparently I screwed it up. I don't know. I'm a rookie. We got a great guest tonight, guys. We're gonna touch on that here in a little bit. So stay tuned. If you know, we're gonna give this man his due. It's it's kind of our Halloween show. We're not on next Wednesday. Next Thursday is Halloween. Can you even believe that, B? That it's freaking Halloween next week already?
No, I was standing in the Walgreens aisle, like looking at all the Halloween candy and realizing I hadn't purchased anything yet. But it's all like $20 for a bag. I'm like, man, how much do I really like these kids? I don't know.
Well, and luckily, I live in an area where we don't really get trick-or-treaters, so my trick-or-treaters will be on Friday on my stream.
Oh, there you go.
Well, but I
still spent trick-or-treaters?
No, not really, but I still spent like $47 in candy just for our whatnot people.
Nice.
Thank you, Silly.
Don't send chocolate to Texas. It's still like 90 here.
All right, I will make sure I'm conscientious of that. Otherwise, you'll just get a toy and a bunch of chocolate around it. It'll be an encapsulated chocolate covered toy. Who doesn't love that? Maybe I will do that. That could be fun.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, Roxy.
So, B, before we kind of get into the guest today, did you and E? I know he's down for the count right now, but did you guys get anything fun this week? Anything?
We did get. We got this.
Oh.
Which is Halloween appropriate.
Yeah, that's fun.
So I'll open it and show you because I want to see it too because I haven't actually seen it yet. In fact, I don't even know if it's been opened.
Now, while you're opening that, be honest. Did you guys have a little NYCC FOMO last weekend?
Yeah, primarily because I just wanted to see people. That's my favorite part of a con. It's just seeing people and catching up. And so, I mean, it was definitely remedied by the fact that DCon is super soon. If DCon had been 3 months away still, I probably would have been extra super sad. But that did help a little bit. How about you?
Yeah, no, I mean, I got a little FOMO. I was watching the people on IG and all of our friends, the savages of the world and stuff that were kind of living it up there. And I'm not in the Funko world, but obviously NYCC and SDCC. Oh, that's dope.
Cool.
Is well beyond just Funko, as we know. But yeah, it was a little. I definitely had a little FOMO.
Yeah.
But you're right. Yeah. The DCon just around the corner, I think, helps. Soothe that pain.
Absolutely.
I will say, guys, I know we're a little bit late start, and I know it's the season where people got stuff going on, but do tag all the people. Let's get some people in this room tonight because I do have a fun giveaway that I'm going to show off a little bit later. And of course, we got an insane guest tonight. So one of the things I did get this week that I'll show off that kind of is a nice lead-in to our guest.
Ooh.
Right here.
I missed these. I'm
nice. I we'll talk about the shows and stuff later, but my plan all along was to Friday night run a sealed series 1, a sealed series 2, and a sealed series 3 of cosplay.
You still have a sealed series 1 and 2?
Yes, sir. I'm very patient, B, and I'm very
impressive. That's impressive. Yes.
Well, thank you. Well, with that, I think we can go ahead and kind of tease because that kind of lends right nicely into our guest tonight. We have an insane guest for y'all. Both B and I are stoked. I know Ian Rock were stoked too. That's why They're like, no, you got to keep going, do the show.
Yep.
We have a legend in the designer toy scene, legend in my eyes. Here he is. He's the inventor, the creator of Bimtoy, and that aforementioned tiny ghost, Mr. Reis O'Brien. What's up, Reis? How you doing, buddy?
Hi.
Welcome.
You're way too kind to me.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You're like the legend.
You are totally a legend in the designer toy world.
I mean, Reis, to be fair, I'm a legend in my own mind, so why not? You know?
In my own mind, I am. Yeah, like I've been accused of that often.
Well,
but
then let's just like share tap into the brain a little bit. Right?
All right, man. We'll just lean into it. What the hell?
Lean
there
in.
you go.
I'm going to very quickly just kind of get things started and ask you, because we like to learn a lot about the art, the artist, the designer, the creator.
Sure.
Where did this all start? Talk about Little Reis and how you kind of got into art and creative journey.
Well, okay. I mean, honestly, like I don't really remember a time when I wasn't drawing. I was that little kid that always had a crayon clenched in his fist and was making things. So I've always been an artist, or at least wanted to be an artist. And I had various family members that were supportive of that, especially my grandfather. And he was the first one to ever put the idea of being a toy designer in my head when I was like 4 years old, 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. And then so I kind of always wanted to do it. It took me several years to finally get there. I tried getting into the comic book industry. That didn't go so well back in the 90s. I'm very old, by the way. And I've been around a long time. And so, yeah, I just I kind of ended up here because I really can't do anything else.
Oh.
Is kind of the thing. But I had some like wonderful fortune along the way. And it was really a matter of like sticking to my art, trying to constantly grow my art, grow my skills, grow my knowledge. And then during that time period, just try to kind of keep my eyes open for stepping stones along that path that would get me to where I wanted to go. And eventually I got there, Yeah. But yeah, I was that kid, like, I'd end up with some extra doubles of action figures and I would turn them into other ones, or I would take Matchbox cars and hit them with a hammer and paint blood on the windshield because I was morbid too. And like I was always modifying things, and I think it was just kind of in my nature, in my blood to do that.
I knew I liked you because when I was a kid, I did the same thing. So
yeah.
I had action figures, and what we would do is we'd take little tissue paper and red like markers, and we would like kind of push it up against the tissue and just have all these like, so when we were acting out like the little shooting and stuff, it got real morbid real quick. So
yeah, I remember there was one Christmas where I like G.I. Joe, a real American hero, like the little 3 3/4 versions of them came out, and that's all I wanted that particular Christmas, when I was like 9-10 years old. And I was like, that's all I want. And then like, bless their heart, like a well-meaning relative sent me Sergeant Rock figures, which were not the same as G.I. Joe. But I was very gracious and said thank you. And then I immediately started like burning and cutting limbs off and painting blood on them to use as corpses in the background of my battles.
Hey, you're resourceful. I love it.
Yeah,
I wonder if Sergeant Rock was named after Rock.
I don't know
because he was in the military, so maybe.
And my Barbies went to the doctor, but I didn't have any, brutal, war scenes.
Oh no, it was all about the realism.
You weren't making bloody Barbies.
Yeah, in my adventures.
I
was kind of always like that weird kid that wanted to customize toys or wanted to make my own, and that just. I spent many years not knowing how to get in the business, and there is no easy answer to that, but I did manage to kind of find my way there, and and now here I am, and apparently I'm a legend to some people.
Well, I mean, look, here's the thing. You have quite the resume. And a lot of these designer toy companies and pop culture companies that everybody knows that's in this world that loves, art and toys and designer toys. knows these names. I mean, Funko and
Sure.
Bimtoy, which you created in Tiny Ghost, which we'll get into in a little bit, and even Handmade by Robots recently.
Yeah, briefly.
Well, you have a lot of and many I'm sure I didn't mention. So let's talk about that. How did you get into this? How did you navigate your world into, say, Funko, or what was first, and then talk about that?
Well, what was interesting is that I found myself in a job where I was a t-shirt designer doing graphic tees, like a lot of kids graphic tees. So I drew a lot of like UFOs and monster trucks and things like that. And then this particular company I worked for, they had this program that was called GWP, Gift with Purchase. And so what they would do is they would go over to China to these big toy fairs there and buy up these really cheap toys, like, that were cool, like, but they were like knockoff Transformers and things like that. Then they'd bring them back and we'd have to, like, through packaging or paint or stickers or whatever, make them look a bit more original. And make them look a little cooler. And at the t-shirt company I worked at, nobody wanted to be in charge of the toys at all. Like, no one wanted to even mess with that. And I was like, oh my God, I'll do it. Like, I'll be the toy guy, right?
So now, 10-year-old Reis is coming.
Yeah. I was like, finally, I'm in.
Right.
And so I agreed to be, and they were like, fine, sucker, like, what go ahead. And so what I did was I kind of embraced the whole the toy design aspect of that. And like I said, they would get a knockoff Transformer or a series of them, and I would give them all names, and I would do this comic book style artwork, and I would try and brand it and fool parents and into buying it, basically. And I was making the Sergeant Rock of the day. And the art director of that t-shirt company was Mike Becker. And Mike Becker, he was my boss. He was the original founder of Funko. So me and Mike got kind of tight during that time period. He's a toy guy. I'm a toy guy. So we kind of bonded over that. When my t-shirt gig started to kind of come to an end, because the whole company moved to San Diego.
Not a horrible place to move.
Not a horrible place to move, but I didn't want to move there.
Right.
So Mike and I were like, well, what if we do something on the side? So we started doing like a little side business, and it was a small company. It was just me and him, called Mixo. And we were doing like collectible tins, weird stuff, like paper craft sets and things. And I was designing all of it. And I was like flying down to San Diego, sleeping on his floor. I went to my first San Diego Comic-Con because of that and everything.
Hey.
And we did that for a couple of years. And it caught the eye of Funko, Brian Mariotti at Funko. And he was like, oh, hey, I like this. And so he ended up buying Mixo, and I came along with the purchase.
Nice.
Wow.
So hey, that's not a bad tag along.
Yeah, man. It was like, it was pretty cool, Yeah. So he bought Mixo, and like it was real weird because like one day I was working for Becker at Mixo, and then the next day he was like, hey, go meet Brian at Funko. And so I drove up there, and Brian was like, so Reis, what do we got to do to get you to work here, is what he said to me. And wow. I was like, I almost died right there. Like I was just like, I don't know, show me where I sit. Like, that's all you got to do. Like, come on. That's all you got to do. And that's how I landed at Funko. And, awesome. And then I was there for 11 years.
Now, what was your title at Funko?
I started as a lead designer, and which sounds more lofty than it is. But it was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot about toy design, collectible design. I paid a lot of attention about what was going on. What was funny is I got brought on right before Pop like really blew up.
Okay.
In fact, Pop was kind of not. They weren't sure if it was going to take off or not, and and they were kind of like, well, God, I don't know if these Pops. I don't know if people are liking them. But then they had just signed the license for Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, and it, boom, like just skyrocketed from there.
Two great properties at that time, was like right at the right time, right spot.
Couldn't have been perfect, like better timing. And so like in that really kicked it off. and I spent like the next 11 years, like it was like a roller coaster ride, and you were hanging on for dear life. Like everything was fast, everything was exciting, everything was like, I don't know, man. It was pretty nuts during its golden age, you know.
Now, how much say, like, you know, as a art director or whatever, how much say would you have like in a character to create, or how would that process work a little bit? Just give us a little peek.
Yeah, that grew as I worked my way up the ladder.
Okay.
I was the 5th person in the art department. So we were very small. They didn't even have a desk for me. They like got it off. They went and bought a desk on Craigslist, and they put it in a hallway. I was sitting in a hallway.
So maybe when he had said, what can you know, what do we need to get you to work here? You could have said like, you know, a really nice office with a view.
Yeah, no, that wasn't happening.
Maybe just a desk.
Yeah, a desk would be nice. I mean, like
A chair. I'll
Mariotti,
just take a chair.
Yeah, like Mariotti, like I had to go into his office, and I was like, so I don't have a computer to work on. He went, oh yeah, you're right. And so he like got in his car and he drove to Best Buy on his lunch break.
The early days of Funko. I love it.
Yeah,
Sneak
it was
peek behind
great.
the curtain. This is great.
Yeah, so I started as a lead designer, and then I kind of moved up the ranks as I began to learn more and show more responsibility. And then I eventually spent the last few years there as a creative director. And once I was there, I was in charge. I would like kind of lead what we called strike teams, who are dedicated teams to licenses. So I was in charge of Star Wars product, Marvel product, Harry Potter, music,
just a few small little IP, nothing.
All action figures. And then I dealt a lot with like some mystery minis and Paka designs, and I kind of led these teams and art directed. So I went from like kind of in the trenches designing a lot, like drawing my ass off, you know, in developing new styles, things like that, to leading these teams of incredibly talented artists and sculptors and like incredibly talented people.
Yeah.
And I kind of would guide them through the same steps I had gone through in my previous years as a designer there. So it was a lot of fun. It was a big full circle kind of thing.
Do you still have some like early sketches of like Funko Pop?
Oh, I got a ton. I've got like just notebooks and notebooks and notebooks. I've sold some off because, you know, some people like this stuff, you know, for collectible purposes. But
you need to make a coffee book, sir.
Ooh, that would be a cool idea, actually.
It would be. I don't know if I'm legally allowed to, but yeah, it would be kind of rad.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So then now at what, but I mean, now from Funko, kind of what's next?
Well, after my tenure, well, actually while I was still at Funko in 2016, I developed Tiny Ghost. And that was mostly born out of, there he is. There's Tiny Ghost. Look at that guy. He's very simple by design. He's very clean by design. But basically that was kind of born out of the fact that as much as I loved working at Funko, it was hard work. You had to work quickly. You had to juggle a lot of, you know, plates and spin a lot of plates and keep everything up in the air. What I realized is that I still had creative itches that needed to be scratched, right? And I found that I could design better at work during the day, because you're sitting there and you're working on licensed stuff, so you got to make sure licensors are happy. You're developing new products, so you got to keep collectors in mind and make sure they're going to like what they like. You have to keep retailers in mind and kind of fill those voids on their shelves that they're looking to fill. Like, you had to keep all that in mind, which is fine, and I love doing it. But when I got home, I still had this like weird stuff in my head that needed to come out, right?
Yeah.
And
maybe make that a coffee book.
Yeah, there you go. And then so what I started doing is I just started kind of like making the bizarre stuff that was in my head just as an exercise to kind of like blow the cobwebs out, so that I could come back to work on Monday morning fresh and ready to do like my, you know, 13th Darth Vader design that's somehow look different, right? And then out of that came this little ghost that I came up with, because he started as an exercise. I wanted to design something that was so incredibly starkly simple,
yeah,
but still maintained cuteness and charm.
yeah.
And so it was an exercise, like how much can I strip down a basic shape and with just 2 dot eyes and still keep it cute and charming, right?
Yeah.
And that's how Tiny Ghost was kind of born. I was pouring resin myself in the garage with the Tiny Ghost that I had originally come up with. And then the guys from Bottleneck Gallery kind of reached out to me out of the blue and were like, yo, man, do you want to make this a vinyl? And I was like, hell yeah, I want to make this a vinyl. And so I started kind of working on Tiny Ghost while I was still at Funko. They were gracious enough to continue, because like Mariotti, like he understood that I got to get this, as long as I was making rad stuff for him when I was there 40, 50 hours a week, then he was fine with whatever, other weird stuff I was doing. And then Bimtoy, you may or may not know, like I went on and did other things. I did these Champu, which were these funny little sharks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we know
And I did these weird kind of occulty looking things called Waldegeists, which were these like bizarre forest spirits that were kind of creepy but cute too. Like I just had to get that stuff out of my head. So I was doing both of those jobs simultaneously for quite some time.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Yes, I would love another series of Champu blind boxes. Just saying.
So would I.
Time.
Yeah,
I would love that too. But that's the other thing. It's like designing things for a big company like Funko's that has the funding to get these things produced, because getting something produced is really expensive. There's steel that you have to cut for the molds. There's hey, there it is. Yeah. And like it's doing that for a big company is wonderful, because it's like, it's this big sandbox you can just kind of play in willy-nilly. When you're doing it on your own and your money's on the line or your business partner's money's on the line, that's another story. If things don't sell super well, you got to move on to other stuff, so
who doesn't love
look at it.
I love that one. So my favorite is the one with the toothbrush, because I'm a dental hygienist. So I have him in my office, sitting in my little op where I work.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Yep. So they're definitely very relatable, cute little characters. So Ruck said, "How do you become a professional nerd?"
You get paid to do what we love.
Yeah, just don't take no for an answer. Persevere, even when you feel like you can't persevere anymore. Like that's how I got here. Just don't quit.
He's an amateur nerd.
You got to start somewhere, right?
So Tiny Ghost, obviously you succeeded. Where did you come up with the name Tiny Ghost? Just it was simple. It was a tiny ghost.
He's a tiny ghost. Yeah, that's it.
That's easy, man.
I gotta be honest with you. Like, it's been what, 8 years now since I've been doing Tiny Ghost, and I still occasionally go, Jesus, Reis, you couldn't have come up with like a more clever name.
Because I feel like it makes it that way you can do the series of different characters, and he doesn't have to have some sort of name associated. He can just be Tiny Ghost.
Yeah, Tiny Ghost is his name. TG, his friends call him. And I did make other characters in his world. His best friend Nerdy, and the love of his life, Luna, and so I tried to branch out in other characters, but everybody just goes back to TG. They just kind of like him the best.
And
now TG, the
OG TG.
Not that this hasn't been being done for years, but I mean, especially it feels like we're in this kind of age of customizing now. A lot of customizations. I mean, how excited are you when you see one of your Tiny Ghosts?
I love it. I love seeing them customized. And what's really funny, and maybe this was naive on my part, but when I designed the original TG, I don't even know if I have one near me. Oh yeah, there's one. Hold on, look.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's something you haven't seen before, but like when I came up with this,
there he is. I
was just kind of like, cool, this is what it is. And I didn't really intend for it to become like a form factor for people to customize on. But of course, people are going to do that because he is actually a really nice little blank canvas for a lot of people. And
sure.
I've seen incredible stuff, like banana stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, I rocked this little vinyl shape for years. And then hold on one second.
Yeah.
We're getting a sneak peek behind the curtain here, gang.
Yeah.
Great.
So, and I kind of rocked this guy for a long time, and people still like him. And then it wasn't until just like a couple of years back, I decided he needed to kind of make a jump in evolution.
Oh,
right.
Have a little facelift.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, this was fun, don't get me wrong, but he was never exactly how I pictured Tiny Ghost living his life. And I pictured him in a more detailed, animated way. And so that's why this is the Soulmate style that I came up with a little bit later. And this is the style we're currently working in. But as you can see, I mean, he's still kind of a blank slate, but he's just got more room to be a bit more of a personality, you know? And then we can take that blank slate and do things like this to it.
Oh my god! Holy moly! Look at that!
Gosh. Right?
That's look at his tongue.
Is that a Krampus?
It's a Krampus. He's coming out later this year.
Well,
here's the case version.
Oh my god! Oh my
gosh, it's like metallic too. Wow.
Yeah, I put metallic horns on them, and that was actually my wife's idea. She was like, "You got to make the horns metallic on the Frosty version." And then he's got a little Tiny Ghost in his basket.
Look at it!
Right there. So I mean, I actually forget your original question, but yeah, I was just kind of trying to make this like really simple guy. And then it got to a point where he had to like take a jump in evolution, you know? Yeah. And now here we are. And that's why you see more like when you see, these little dudes, this is the Soulmates version. Right. I just wanted them to have something to, just a bit more personality, a bit more room, a bit more tooth to the canvas to put like a characterization to, and honestly, I don't know if I would have thought that far if it hadn't been for the customizers in the past doing incredible things to them. Yeah. So it became like a symbiotic relationship that I was getting inspired by these people that were customizing the original vinyl,
That's awesome.
Wow.
At what point now? Because we're pretty tight with the folks over at Fugitive Toys. We're friendly with them. What point did Fugitive Toys come into the scene? Well,
Fugitive kind of came in just about a year and a half ago at this point, because just the market has changed drastically. The toy market has changed. COVID did a real number of it. There's Red Guardian. I see it. Yes. Remind me, I want to talk about Red Guardians.
Oh, we will. We never get out of a DT4 not talking about Red Guardian.
Yeah.
He makes sure of that.
Yeah. But yeah, we had gotten to a point, like Tiny Ghost was doing great. It was selling really well. Everything was going great. And then, COVID just ruined the world, and ruined the market. Honestly, it was like, it became really difficult to get things made. Factories were shutting down. Shipping was shutting down. And it really kind of crippled a lot of toy designers in both from all levels, like low guys like me to big people like, Mattel and Hasbro. So it was hard to recover from that, honestly, like to kind of catch back up.
Sure.
And so it got to a point where I was like, man, I don't know if I can kind of keep this going anymore. I don't know how to do it. So I was about to kill it. Honestly, wow. I was about to be like, all right, I'm out. No more Tiny. Like, I'm done. I gotta. Yeah. Because it just like the to get anything produced was getting way more and more difficult. And I was, me and my business partners, we were running into speed bumps left and right. So it was we talked about, well, maybe it's time to let it go. Well, Nelson over at Fugitive heard about that because I was like kind of talking to him about it, like we've been buds for a long time, and he was like, yeah, no. He was like, we can't let Tiny Ghost go.
Can't let it die.
Yeah. He was like, we just can't do it. And so he basically was like, let's team up, let me you know, be your producer and your retail outlet. And if we can at least keep Tiny Ghost's name and designs alive. And so that's kind of what we've been doing for like the last year and a half or so.
And was the Cos Babies the series 1, was that the first venture together, or was that
the Cos
well, these guys,
the casual cosplay.
Cosplay,
I mean, God, I can't even remember the first thing we started working on, but yeah, around that time, that's when I started developing this. It all kind of happened because I was working on this new design. I was very excited about it, but I just didn't know how I was going to get it produced. And then like I just started like slapping costumes on them and awesome. You know, in kind of a parody kind of way, like there's Captain Seagull, you know, and then this one I love so much. Oh God, this just takes me back.
Yeah,
Danielson. Yeah,
and then the chases. Sweep the leg. But yeah,
I can see what era you grew up in by the
I know I'm an 80s kid.
Yeah. It's great.
So Nelson,
what?
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say. So Nelson, if you're watching, thank you for saving Tiny Ghost.
I know, right? Like, I mean, he was a real hero at like the 11th hour. I was about to kill it because I had no choice, you know. Like I was, and Nelson was like, "No, man, we can't do this. This is too much fun." Because you know, I would fly out to the cons and I would sit at Nelson's booth and do signings and doodles and you know, draw on people's vinyls and stuff. And we had a lot of fun. Like it's some of my best memories, you know, of being in this business is because of that. And yeah, I really appreciated that he kind of stepped in and kind of pep talked me into like, he was like, basically, if you design it, I'll make it, and let's just kind of keep it alive for now. So here we are.
So now here's the transition that I know you want to talk about. You obviously were in series 1 of the creatives. You know Red Guardian. You said, don't let me forget. We got to talk about Red Guardian. So let's talk about Red Guardian. Damn it! So, how did you get into the creatives?
Well, actually, I think like Red Guardian like kind of reached out to me. We started kind of chatting a little bit on Instagram and stuff. And what happened is there was a point where I had like these incredibly big plans for Tiny Ghost, the vinyl. Because I had been doing all these designs. I don't even know how many I did, 100 or more. I don't know, like tons. And what I wanted to start doing is start collabing with other artists and be like, here's your canvas, go nuts, do what you want, and we'll produce it. Right. So I had him, I had Jason from Barely, I had a few other people like all working on stuff. And files were coming in and I was really excited, and Red Guardian did like this gnarly design. I think I got to share. I'll have to dig it up, or he probably has it, and I can share it. And it was rad. It was completely rad. So I had all these files ready, and I was like vectorizing them and working with the artists and stuff like that. And I mean, like, no sooner did Red Guardian like send me his designs, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna be great, along with some other artists. COVID happened and killed everything. Killed everything. That was like, it sucked, man, because that was, it just really killed the momentum that we were starting to build up, and the relationships that I was having with other artists like suffered because I couldn't do what I promised I was going to do. I mean, everybody understood, don't get me wrong, you know. But it was just like, it was really gnarly. Like that's when Quicks and I teamed up for a little while there. Yeah, you know, Quicks and I had big ideas that we were going to do. Like I had my flight booked. I was going to go to the big con in the Philippines, and we were going to do like a dual signing next to each other. And it was just going to be like a lot of fun, but COVID killed it all, man. Like it just like bam, put like a hard stop to kind of everything. So that's never got made. And then as a side note, when you're working with factories, like sometimes things go really wrong. And like the last factory we worked with on this, like kept our molds, wouldn't give them back. It was really, it was bad. So like I couldn't even make more vinyls, even if I wanted to, without paying thousands and thousands of dollars to make new molds. And it
Oh
was
my
just,
god.
it was heartbreaking. It was just galling. And it just really kind of takes like the wind out of your sails, you know? But that having been said, Red Guardian did a dope ass design, and I'll share it and tag him in it. That's and I got to dig it up. It's on my computer downstairs.
We'll we'll post it. We'll post it on the DT4 IG.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. But I do want to say he was kind enough to like not give me a hard time. He understood the market turned into just a shit show, and then he invited me to be part of the inaugural creatives card design,
which is still like one of the top. All 3 series are fantastic, but
they're badass, aren't they?
Series 1 like holds a special place in my heart. I think maybe because it was new and it's the first time I ever saw them as a collector. But geez, like
it was a really fresh new idea that is just killer.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, hey, maybe eventually you could do a series of blind box, new tiny ghosts with your new molds, and you could incorporate some of the artists that you initially were supposed to. And
I think that would be really awesome. I would love to do something like that. That would be really killer. It's just now it's ever since COVID happened, it's kind of this has been a rebuilding period, and we're still kind of in it. Honestly, like the whole industry is still kind of in it.
Yeah. It's playing catch up for sure.
It's really playing catch up. Yeah.
So now you've had other ventures. I know for a hot minute there, Handmade by Robots. I don't know if you want to
but very briefly, I was there. It started out as a kind of a 3-month consulting thing with the possibility of turning into a full-time thing. Ended up not working out. No worries. Yeah. And so I did have big plans. But those big plans, I guess, just aren't going to happen. But that's okay. That's okay. I mean, that's the business.
What about the future for you? We've got still a lot of get to know the man behind the art, but talking about the art journey for another little bit here. What about the future of Reis O'Brien? What do you have planned right now?
Well, I mean, the best laid plans of mice and men often go astray, but I'm one of those guys that, and I say this without an ounce of hubris, but I have too many ideas. So really, it's mostly a matter of like reining in my ideas and trying to see what are actually viable, what are actually, what juice is worth the squeeze. So
all of them, Reis, all of them.
I can't do them all, and they're not all good. Like, go look at my Instagram. I draw stupid stuff all the time. That's not a good idea. And I post it. I don't know why I do it. But yeah, I'm really not sure. It's like Tiny Ghost has been doing so great, especially since we kind of developed the new Soulmates look. Like, here's Friday. Like, look how cute. Come on.
Oh, love it.
He's just so cute.
And I love the adjustment of the names. That's great too.
Well, it's parody.
Yeah.
So,
right.
So I can't get
parody,
sued.
Right. Yeah. Inspired by. Yes.
An homage, if you will.
Yes.
But yeah, basically, I'm just like, I don't know exactly what the future holds. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, discussions and things like that I can't go into right now.
Now Rock would right now, if Rock were here, he'd say it's just the little group of us. It's just the family.
Oh no, man! I know.
I mean, I know there's some things you can't share, but give us one little nugget, Reis. Give us a little DT4 exclusive, something.
I can't. Everything right now. There are discussions going on. Nothing is solid, so that's kind of why I can't say anything.
Okay.
But it's. There's talks about.
No, I can tell you want to tell us something.
I know I do, but I can't. It's everything is so kind of up in the air right now. And I have several irons and several fires, and we'll see which one starts to glow white hot, and that'll be the one that'll take me to the next level. But I won't know it until I see it kind of materialize.
How about cons? You've mentioned that obviously you've had presence, throughout your career. Cons. Do you have any plans? Are you going to be at Decon this year? Or do you have any plans next year?
No, not a Decon. I kind of took a break from cons this year because I'm just, again, like reassessing and figuring some things out. I was almost at New York Comic Con. because I had a meeting with someone, and again, that's another one of those things I can't talk about. But it ended up like it ended up getting put on hold, and that's going to happen down the road, a little later. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to fly out there and spend like all the money you need to do to like put yourself up in New York and everything.
I mean,
so
we could help you manifest this. Are you sure you don't want to just?
I just
fine, I'm teasing.
I gotta like play that dance, that careful dance.
All right, okay.
Of the business. But so I'm kind of taking a break from cons right now. And again, like my presence at cons, like I'd love to go back. I do miss them, like what you were saying. I didn't go to New York Comic Con because Red Guardian didn't go.
Yeah,
that's exactly why.
We knew the real reason, Reese. We didn't want to put it out there.
God, he told everyone.
Red likes to spoil stuff. He's a spoiler.
I told him not to tell anyone that.
I know.
A Red and Reese combo booth. I dig it. I think we need to have a Red and Reese combo booth at a con. I think that would be fun.
And I definitely think there needs to be a Red Reese something, just because Red Reese sounds dope.
That's kind of dope, actually. I kind of like that. Yeah.
We like to. We're gonna shift gears just for a minute.
Okay.
And obviously we're going to give you plenty of time at the end to plug anything you want.
Okay. Yeah. Shift gears.
But we like to find out a little bit about the human behind the creator here. So we're going to find out. We're going to get in the brain.
Oh no.
This coffee book is going to unfold in real time.
Oh my
Don't worry. He's making it way more intense than it actually is. Okay.
It's like an hour on the couch with the shrink.
Pretty intense, B. Don't sell short.
Okay.
All right. Well, first off, I mean, this is technically our Halloween show. So I'm assuming, since you kind of already hinted at this, but since you kind of have all these little creatures and stuff in tiny ghost, you got to be a fan of Halloween, right?
I'm a massive Halloween guy. Yeah, I have been my whole life.
Check out his background. Like
I know. Yeah, I'm leading the witness here. It's fine. What's your? Do you dress for Halloween? Are you a costume guy?
Not always as an adult, but I have 3 kids who I can kind of live vicariously through, and we make sure their costumes are really dope. This year I'm not going to dress up. Last year I walked around as a Ghostbuster. It was awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, that was rad.
And that might be the answer, but and you can pawn this answer off on one of your kids if you want to. Of all the costumes you've personally ever put together for yourself, or maybe one of your kids, what's your absolute favorite?
My Indiana Jones costume that I did a few years ago, but I think 3 years ago now, 3 Halloweens ago. My whole life, well, not my whole life, but ever since I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark, I've been a massive Indiana Jones fan. He is, if I could be as cool as him, then my life would be complete. So I finally
have a real bullwhip.
Real everything. It was gnarly. It was so cool.
Were you just running around going dun 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 dun?
Oh
dun,
man,
dun,
I mostly just tried to like stand there and do like the smolder look, the Harrison Ford smolder. But really all that matters is my wife thought I was adorable, and so that was kind of cool. But
that's really all that
my Indiana Jones costume. I had made one when I was a kid, just to like run around the neighborhood in my homemade Indiana Jones costume. So it kind of finally came full circle when I, was able to buy like the good stuff, and I actually look convincing.
Do y'all do family costumes? Where like
no, the boys they all get it in their head what they kind of want to do. This year we have quite an eclectic mix, and so no, we don't really do the closest we're going to get this year is that Kelly and my wife and I got matching skeleton hoodies, and we're just going to wear those.
That's cool. You can walk around
around the neighborhood.
Yeah, Karate Kid.
Yeah.
How about you, B? What's your favorite all-time costume that either maybe for Maya or yourself?
I was the Energizer Bunny as a kid.
Oh, that's
that's brilliant.
Yeah, my mom, she made it was like pink sweats that I pink sweatsuit, and then she made these like batteries out of like oatmeal containers or something, like the Quaker.
Yeah, like the Quaker Oats canisters.
And so I had like these batteries on my back, and I was
brilliant.
Definitely that one I remember very vividly. Yeah.
Did everyone
your mom's an artist too,
Christmas
so she
Story?
definitely was probably creative with it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So all right, I mean, trick or treat, which do you prefer?
Treat. I'm too old for tricks.
Okay. What's your
tired?
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, that's a toughie. I mean, I'm a chocolate guy, so I mean, I'm gonna go to that. But like, I think one of the unsung heroes of Halloween are those little. They're like red and black wrapper or orange and black wrapped, like peanut butter taffies.
Oh, yes,
I know what you're talking about.
They're
Yeah.
super old school and they're hard to find
That's
nowadays.
OG, bro. That is OG.
But they're so good.
Yeah,
that's my dog barking. You hear that?
That's okay.
Caramel apple suckers, man. Those are the best for me.
My wife and I were just talking about the caramel apple suckers. I always buy that bag, but I really only want to eat one like a year, and then I'm good.
Yep. Just to have that nostalgic, like taste.
Yep.
Are you the house that everybody wants to come trick or treat at? Do you have
my house?
Yeah.
I think so. We're definitely the most decorated in the neighborhood.
Okay.
And we try to give out rad stuff.
Nice.
Like full-size candy bars and stuff? Like, are you that house?
No, last year it was packs of Pokemon cards and we got raided.
Whoa.
Oh, that's actually very cool.
And the year before that was like this big bowl full of toys, like just little vampire fangs and wind-up skeletons and things like that. I think this year we're just going back to candy.
Have you ever thrown a tiny ghost in the little bucket for people?
I've never I've never done
Reis, what the hell, man? Come on. You need to take some of those cosplays and just throw them in. There you go. The kids won't even know they're in, like for a couple of years.
I can't do it. I only get like one sample for myself, so I'm like, I can't have
that's a great one too. Don't give that one away. The Joker.
No, I'm not giving away the Joker. No.
Top tier.
All right, so we got some resident foodies in the group. We always. Oh, that one is adorable. Oh, that's Jana's favorite. I think she was telling me that she's a huge Alex. What's the name of the character?
His name's Alex. I forget his last name.
It's from Clockwork Orange, right?
Yeah. This one's Axel Cockney. Is his name.
There's like 3 or 4 people that I know that are horror fans in the community, and 2 or 3 of them were like, "Are you going to?" They asked me. They're like, because they know I usually go to NYC.
Yeah.
Are you going to New York Comic Con this year? If you can pick me up, they have the Alex. I think it's like DeBarge or something. Alex.
It is something like that.
Yeah. And I'm like, no.
I read the book in high school, but I don't remember.
Yeah. All right. So how about food? Are you a foodie at all?
I'm not. I eat like a 9-year-old.
Me too.
I'm like a picky kid that just wants like cheeseburgers and
perfect pizza, cheeseburgers, bag of Doritos, watching a game.
Yeah.
I'm good.
My wife she's an excellent cook, so she has expanded my palate, luckily. But
good job, Kelly.
Yeah, she's done a great job there. But for the most part, I eat like a child.
What about when your creative process? So back when you had no desk to now where you have a desk.
Yes.
Are you popping in earbuds and you have a playlist going? Yeah. You like to watch stuff, and what is that playlist? What is that Reis O'Brien playlist looking like?
Well, it depends on what I'm trying to create, and that's usually mood based. So when I'm going like creepy and scary, it's a lot of like old school thrash and death metal.
Okay.
Yeah, and then but when I'm trying to, I don't know, like dive into a world, a more well-rounded universe, like when I'm trying to kind of world build a little bit, I actually listen to a lot of like movie soundtracks, like orchestrated movie soundtracks. Because it kind of helps me picture kind of like the movie of what I'm trying to create in my head, which I then try to transfer into the character itself.
I love that. So Tiny Ghost Thrasher music? Probably not, right? He's too cute to be listening to that.
Yeah. There's not a lot of that going on. It's usually when I'm doing like my weird, like, like death metal action figure designs and things like that I go dark on. But I don't know. I'm a kinder, gentler guy in my old age, so it has been more movie soundtracks and stuff these days.
Love that.
What about streaming? Are you streaming any? What's your favorite stream show right now?
Well, we've seen some really good stuff. We just finished Fall of the House of Usher, and I'm an Edgar Allan Poe nut, and I love the Flanagan stuff. So we loved that, but we can't really find a lot of good stuff. So my wife and I are going through our second viewing of all 15 seasons of Supernatural.
Nice.
Wow.
Cool.
15 seasons. That's incredible.
Yep, we're diving right back in. We're going to do it again. It's our comfort show.
aside from the obvious, bringing your family with you or something like that, which, what if you're getting stranded on a island and you can only have 2 or 3 pieces of media, maybe your favorite album or movie or something like that. What is it? What is 1 or 2 of the staples you got to have with you?
Karate Kid.
No. Okay, so we'll go book, movie, and album. How's that?
I love it.
The book would be Ready Player One.
Perfect.
Ooh.
I feel like that book was written for me. Movie would be Conan the Barbarian, the 1982 original. It's my all-time favorite movie. And album would be Rain and Blood by Slayer.
Wow. All right. A man who knows what he's bringing to the island. Usually people are like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm impressed by how quickly you answered that question. That was probably
They're my go-tos. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
other than Ready Player One, which is only a few years old, it's like they've been with, like, that movie and that album been with me the majority of my life, and I always go back to them. They never left me. So,
B, I'm going to turn the tables on you. You probably won't like this question, but same. If you could only bring 1 or 2 things, what are you bringing? It could be a movie, it could be music, it could be whatever.
Oh gosh, so I can't have my Spotify playlist because
Not the entire playlist.
Thing. He is really good at, like, anytime he has a song that he's playing and I'm like, hey, can you add that to my playlist? So I have a playlist, like, that he just sends all the music.
I think I know one of the movies.
School of Rock. That's
there we go.
Wow.
Nice. Right.
I love School of Rock.
I had Wally queued up. I thought for sure.
And I do love Wally. I'm a huge Wally fan.
Yeah.
In fact, if you could incorporate an Eve or a Wally into your tiny ghost, blind boxes eventually, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely my favorite. And I feel like Wally doesn't get much love in the Disney community. I mean, like,
he doesn't. No. Yeah, he's kind of the unsung hero. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, such a great movie with so many, like,
wonderful movie.
Yeah, like, so many important elements to it, but yeah, nobody loves it. So anyways, but yes, that is probably that one, but also School of Rock. I love that one too. Yeah.
And for me, if you can ever put out like a little special Star Wars Rebels edition of the Tiny Ghost, that'd be great.
I haven't poked that bear yet, but
yeah, I'm teasing.
I have never seen Star Wars in full, disclosure. So I know.
Well, this interview's done.
Yep, and gotta go.
Thanks for having me, folks.
So Reis, we've taken a ton of your time. We appreciate how generous you've been with your time.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Insanely cool. What is a couple things you'd like to plug on the horizon? I know you got a lot of secrets in the works we can't talk about.
Secrets in the works. But currently,
want to tell it?
Yeah, we got just like a quick pluggity plug. We had our New York Comic-Con drops. We had pins, we had art prints, we had full-size resin, we had Series 3 minis, and not a lot of stuff sold out, but Nelson brought back some stuff from the show. So if you go over to the Fugitive Toys website, I think there's still some pins available and some of the minis available, but I think everything else is sold out. So please go by fugitivetoys.com in their Tiny Ghost section, and you'll be able to like see what's still available there. And then if you are interested in these guys, keep an eye on Fugitive Toys around Black Friday.
Cool.
Okay.
I think in honor of you, we're gonna give away this guy.
You can do it? All right. The 3-inch silver.
You're gonna give away TGOG? Or no, silver. The silver version?
The silver 3-inch. It's
silver
actually
edition.
kind of rare, I think.
Do we remember how limited the silver edition was?
No, I don't.
Don't put him on a spot like that.
I'm not sure, but he was rare. Yeah, he was pretty limited.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know. B, I'm going to kind of leave this up to you and Reis. You guys think we should do it right now in the live, or should I maybe make it a IG giveaway post?
That's your call, man.
All right.
I think you should do it on the live. I think more people just need to be in this room. And so
there you go. I like that.
The 20 people that showed up today absolutely deserve something.
All right. So Reis,
yes.
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to need B and E. It looks like Smodding from his resting spot.
From his deathbed.
So I'm going to need you guys to maybe kind of to watch to see who the winner is. And Reis, you're going to have to help us because we might not know who the winner is.
I don't know if I can't even see the chat.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well,
Oh, I see the comments.
You do see comments?
Yeah, I started pressing buttons and look what happened.
There you go. Buttons.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to have you come up with a quick little trivia question. And
me?
Because only you'll know the answer to it. Otherwise, we're going to be accused of favoritism and all kinds of stuff. You have no favoritism in this chat right now.
Oh, my God. Okay. All right. So we're going to go back. We're going to go back to the movie Conan the Barbarian that I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
So this is not going to be easy for everyone. Okay.
Button and leaves chat.
So we're gonna go back to the movie Conan the Barbarian. Conan's best friend is a guy named Subutai in the movie. What gods does he pray to?
Ooh.
All right. In the movie Conan the Barbarian, his sidekick Subutai, what god does he pray to?
People are Googling right now.
I was going to say, I would not know the answer to this. Is William right?
No, Crom is Conan's god.
Okay.
And they have a debate about it while they're eating chicken by a fire.
Oh, man. You really know this movie. I don't even know this one. This is like a deep dive for me.
I hope people watch this movie.
Boom. There it is. The 4 wins.
4 wins. Rux. So Rux one is an artist out of Australia.
Nice.
I see Funko News Canada before I see Rux.
Oh, I do.
I saw Rux first.
Oh, you see Rux first?
Yeah, the way I don't even see Funko News. Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. It is Funko News Canada.
Okay.
They got it first.
Rux, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Rux.
I'm sorry, Rux, but Rux, he knows us and he knows we always do good stuff for him.
Yep.
You're close, Rux.
Funko News Canada. Congratulations.
It is the 4 wins. My God is the everlasting sky. Your
Funko
God
News Canada. I need
him.
you, if you're not already, I need you to go on to IG and follow us. It's DT4_live, LIVE, and DM us. Let us know that you were indeed Funko News Canada, if it's not the same screen name on IG, and that you won the silver edition Tiny Ghost, and we will get that shipped out to you. Congrats.
And thank you for being here in the chat. See,
right,
guys, you have to be here live to be able to win cool stuff.
Boom. That's how it works.
So we appreciate you, buddy. We're looking forward to
thank you for having me.
All of your stuff. And if you ever have anything, once these secrets start coming to fruition, and you want to come back on and share with the DT4 fam, you have an open door policy anytime.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'll take you up on that offer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll come bugging you.
We hope
really
you do,
mean
buddy.
it. So, we can always share stuff on our IG pages, or you can jump on for 5 minutes on a Wednesday night, and
And the next time we're going to talk about your collection.
Yeah.
This is just a fraction.
I know. That's why the next time we're talking about maybe your favorite parts of your actual collection. So.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right, Reis, we appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you so much, guys, and thank you everybody who came and was hanging out during the show. But seriously, guys, this was fun. I really appreciate it.
Good. We had a great time. We appreciate you. We'll see you soon.
Have a great Halloween, guys. All right, B, I have to go tend to this. Entertain for a moment. I'll be right back.
He's gonna seriously leave me by myself.
Talk about what you have coming up this week.
Hey guys. What do we have coming up this week? Oh, okay. So I know DT1, right? On Saturday, we have our regular show, me and E on Whatnot. We're gonna be doing Mr. Bones Series 2, and then I think I have a couple other cases coming in. So that'll be on Saturday. Then on October 30th, which is next Wednesday, we're going to be having another Whatnot show, but that one's going to be a special one because we are going to have Cardi Artist, Rux 1, and Sneaky all on, and they are going to be doing they're doing a really cool collab. They've got some new characters coming out, stuff like that we're honored to promote. And so I'm super excited about that. They're going to have some really cool stuff for you guys to grab on whatnot.
That's on the 30th, you said?
On the 30th, yes.
Which is
and then if I remember
not
correctly,
your normal night, right?
I'm sorry?
That's not your normal night, right?
No, it's next Wednesday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we're having our show on Saturday, normal show, and then Wednesday, next Wednesday, a week from today, we'll be with them.
Cool.
And then Grimly, I believe, has a show on, I believe it's November 1st on Whatnot.
No, it's in the 20s. It's right before, it's a couple days before my Toys for Tots. So it's the 21st, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I thought it was way sooner than that.
Yeah. He's calling it his final show, but we know that's not going to be.
JK. Well, it's his final Wraps show.
Yeah. He wants, I talked to him about this. I said, you can't seriously be serious. And he just said he wants to get into some other aspects of art and things like that. So I think, we'll see Wraps again in the future, but it's going to be put on the shelf for a while, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's pretty much it for me. I'm working on a couple digital pieces. One I finished up and I got to see the preview of it today, and it's amazing. I don't know if I can talk about it yet, but I'm pumped. And I think it's going to involve a t-shirt. So I'm super excited about that. Hello, Nick. Yes, DT2. And then I've got another digital collab with Mo.
And then, of course, Decon coming around the corner. So that'll be fun, too.
Yep, absolutely.
I've got two things real quick to plug, and then we'll talk about something here a little more serious. So this Friday is my big Halloween show. And as I said at the onset, I have a sealed case of Series 1, Series 2, and the newly launched from New York Comic Con last week, Series 3 cosplays, the Tiny Ghosts, these bad boys, the Soulmates. And we're gonna have a lot of fun. I've got special surprises, a ton of giveaways, and a couple of banger, and I mean banger, buyers giveies. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's going to be a fun show. Please come by and check it out. I urge you. And then, of course, just for those people who have been following or care, I do have the Toys for Tots stream next month. It got pushed back because of a work travel conflict. So it is now November 23rd, which is a Saturday. I am starting in the afternoon. I hope to lead into E and B and make it so that we can raid.
It's fine. You do your thing.
So anyway, that's about it. Unfortunately, though, we do have a little bit of sad news. We did say at the onset of the show that Rock was tending to a family matter. And all of you know and love Rock and know that his mom, Mama Rock, was a big staple of the community. Was a presence in his shows almost every week. Oh, yeah. And was even a presence in DT4 and really anything that Rock did. She was his biggest fan. And sadly, she has passed away. So it is horrible news. We are thinking of Rock, and he's in our hearts. He's in our minds. The only reason we did tonight's show was because we had Rock's blessing. I did speak to him, and he said, absolutely, the show must go on. Mama Rock would have wanted it that way. So RIP Mama Rock, this show is dedicated to you. We love you. We know you're going to be looking down and enjoying all the things that Rock has in store for the future. So God bless you, Mama Rock, and God bless you, Rocks. We're thinking of you right now. Yep.
It's definitely not the same without him or without E. So that's what makes DT4 is all of us together. So
and also E was, if you were coming in late and wondering, DT2, Rock obviously is mourning the loss of his mom, and E came down with an illness and was trying to get here back for today's episode, but sadly is still resting up. So get better very soon, E.
Yep.
So we'll leave it on that note. Not to be somber, let's celebrate the life of Mama Rock, and she will live on in spirit and live on in all of our hearts, and especially Rock's. We come back for the next show on November 6th with a very cool show. That is the B, or
It's a
the
pre-decon show. So we're going to be having JFO on, and we're also going to be having TJP on. And the cool thing about that is both TJP and Rock were the two artists that got chosen to be in the capsule, the Spray Castle series. And so that is kind of cool. So we get to, hear about them and down with the sickness. Yes, Dondo, very clever. Yeah, he and Maya are sick right now. So I need to wear a mask and quarantine away from them.
Yeah, just spray Lysol everywhere you go.
Yep.
He'll be talking and he'll be like, dope. And you'll be like, dope. Anyway, God bless you guys. We love y'all. We're going to wind it up a little earlier than we normally do. Some good things on the horizon. Keep following, liking, subscribing, smashing that like button, comment, all the things that generate activity and algorithms. We have these amazing people and great guests on. Reis O'Brien. I mean, come on.
I was gonna say, share this stream, y'all, because even though they aren't live, even though we aren't gonna be live anymore, it's still a really cool stream to go back and get to watch and learn a little bit about him. So definitely share it for your friends.
Share it for your friends.
Share it for your friends.
All right. Well, I guess B, we need a new outro for tonight. Rock ain't here, so I'm gonna let you do a little sweet outro for everyone.
Everybody just be kind to one another and love one another. This is a season of kind of high stress for a lot of people, political nonsense, all that kind of jazz. But at the end of the day, we're all human and we're all here on this earth to love one another. So be kind to each other, love each other, and we'll see y'all soon.
See you soon.